Whoa, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Miles again. Yeah, man, and I'm kind of giving my opinion on shit, local touch freight, CDL drivers. Just to touch bases, just in case you didn't see my shorts, just to touch bases. My name Miles. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Monroe, Louisiana, born and raised. I had my CDL since June of 2023. This June to make 2 years. And shit, I finished school and I went straight to local touch freight for our local beer company in Monroe, Louisiana. And in my opinion, man, some BS. Shit, my first reason why I say it's some BS is, for one, the pay ain't as good as you would think it would be. Like most of these jobs, basically, when you coming out of CDL school, most people gonna go straight over the road, because a lot of times with the local jobs, they gonna want you to have at least maybe a year or two experience, nothing less. But shit, Monroe, Louisiana, this is a small little, city, population of a total of maybe like 50,000, somewhere up in that range. And like I say, I came straight out of school by our local beer company out here. And in my opinion, it's some BS. For one, the pay ain't what you would expect, because like, okay, say boom, you would expect when you coming fresh out of school, you're gonna bring in, good little money, you expecting to make in your first year 75, 80K and all. That's a lot, even over the road most of the time. I know I say that because, okay, boom, so I finished school in June of 2023. I was already working anyway. I had two jobs. I was working as a janitorial supervisor, part-time on the side. Had another little janitorial gig or whatever. So I finished school in June, like I said, June 2023. I didn't really pursue getting into like a CDL job until like 3 months later in September 2023. I got hired at our local beer company. I ain't gonna say the name, but basically, in so many words, okay, I started the job, whatever, September 11, 2023. I came in as a CDL helper. I was a CDL helper for, I'll say, maybe about from September 2023 to about, like June of 2024. And then I finally got a route and basically, became a full-time driver. That's only, because somebody got fired and I basically just got their spot. But pretty much what I'm trying to get to is, like, you'll be surprised. Like, people think that, like, going to get your CDL, you just finna run your bag up in 100K a year and you finna go out here and buy clean cars and buy houses and all that in 2 and 3. It don't work like that. You got to basically take a lot of bumps and go through a lot of roadblocks, because basically you're going to get your experience up. If you drive trucks, you pretty much ain't going to really see your money for real till at least after maybe 3 to 5 years. You're going to see money starting off, but it just depends on your situation. See, with me, I'm a single man, live by myself, don't have any kids, so pretty much, I could live off, I could survive. But pretty much, like the touch freight that I do, it's kind of, it's the pay ain't as good as you would think, but for somebody that's single with no kids and with no real responsibility, all I got to do is worry about taking care of myself, I'm good. Pretty much, though, what I'm trying to get to is, like, the pay, where I'm at right now, I'm in Monroe, Louisiana, so this is like a small city in Louisiana, so of course our pay wouldn't be the same. Hold on, it's rain. Coming down out here. Yeah, so of course, our pay wouldn't be the same compared to somebody that's in Los Angeles, California, or New York, or Atlanta somewhere or something. It ain't gonna be the same. All right, so basically in so many words why I say it's some BS, because the company that I'm at, we basically, how they do their work is, you come in the job as a CDL helper. And they really don't too much care about the experience, because it's like a low paying type of job, and they pretty much hire anybody as long as you got a CDL. Because to be honest with you, man, like a lot of times nowadays with the CDL training, bro, they kind of fast tracking these guys through school, and a lot of times you're not even getting the full training. Like I remember the school that I went to, I ain't gonna say their name and slander, but the school got shut down because of how bad the training was. It was literally like in my class, it was 4 of us doing training in the evening time, because everybody had day jobs, so they had like a morning class and an evening class. So we went to work, we went to class, maybe it was 4 hours a day. We went for 8 weeks. We'll go from like 4:35 in the evening to about 9 at night. And there were 4 of us in the class and only one truck. So basically, we out there, we spent 2 weeks in the classroom, went to the DMV, took the CDL permit test and whatever. And after that, we spent 6 weeks basically doing our training as far as on the yard, dealing with our bagging, Our driving, pre-trip, post-trip, things like that. But anyway, to get off into it, like, it was so unprofessional. Like, we literally, like, four of us in one truck. We literally taking turns, 30 minutes a piece bagging up or whatever, practicing our bag, and we practice on the straight line, the offset, and the 90. So, we did that little training or whatever. We may spend most of our time bagging. I would say out of that time we did the 8-week class, we spent 2 weeks in the classroom. And as far as the 6 weeks on the yard, we spent about 5 weeks of practicing bagging and only 1 week of driving. You know what I'm saying? So you're basically not even getting good training. They basically kind of fast tracking guys through school because they getting money for every student to get a CDL and graduate. Like our class was a total of $5,000. You had to pay $500 down, and you taking out a student loan of $4,500, which ain't bad. But at the same time, the school was like very unprofessional. Like, they didn't help us find a job or anything. Basically, once we finished school, we never heard from the people again. It was 4 of us in our class, and literally only 2 of us is in CDL jobs, and like me and another guy, we basically like the same age. We got on at the same job. And basically, I got hired maybe the 1 week, and he ended up coming on starting the next week or 2 after me. But basically what I'm trying to get to is like it's a lot of BS. It's unprofessional because like why I say that, when we was training, our trainer, he really didn't even care. He pretty much was like, we take turns in the truck. He was sitting out, because when I went, like I say, I got my CDL in June of 2023, but I started my training on about May the 1st of 2023. So that's, around the spring and getting it going into the summer. So it's starting to heat up. So we out there, it's 90, 95 degrees, 100 degrees, whatever. Anyway, like, the trainer, he pretty much kind of went over the basis of it, just as far as like the pre-trip, kind of, taught us that or whatever. And basically all he did was just basically bag this truck, his regular vehicle, bagged this truck in, sat in the truck, and pretty much just watched us bag up. And now, the only thing he'd do, he'll probably blow his horn or something like that. Basically, if you too far gone, you got to restart on your setup. So pretty much we basically out there kind of teaching ourselves. But to make a long story short anyway, so we go, I go get my CDL, basically, I passed my pre-trip. I passed my road test on the first try. So I pretty much, go to the DMV, pay the $65, get my CDL. Anyway, like basically after we finished the school, I never heard from them again. They never followed up or never checked to see if we found the job, never brought like recruiters in or passed out pamphlets for different companies that we could pursue or anything. Basically just on our own. So luckily, we had a couple of local companies in our, city, like, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, 7-Up, produce, fruit trucks, food trucks, beer companies. I applied for all of them. The beer company, they end up, giving me a call. I go in for the interview or whatever, get the interview. I guess they was impressed or whatever, in my demeanor and my work history, because basically I'm 30 years old, but I've been working there since I was 19 years old. I graduated at 18. So basically ever since I was out of high school, I always kept a job. Like all my jobs I always had at least a year and a half, 2 years. I never worked on a job less than a year. But pretty much, so I go in, do the interview, get it. I tell them, I'm still working on the job, so I need to put in a 2-week notice before I start. So I had my interview sometime in like late August. I didn't start the job till September 11th. Okay, so boom. So first time I should have paid attention to the red flags, because at the interview, the guy, and I don't want to, kind of be disrespectful, and I don't want to get my page flagged and nothing like that, so I don't want to use certain words, but I'm going to just say more of like prejudice. I'm going to put it like that. So basically, the guy pretty much so many words kind of told me, yeah, man, my guys right here, we expect you to work fast, get it done. I'm really ready to fire a few people. I just need their replacements. So, you come in, do a good job, man. You liable to have a route in the next month. Okay, I'm like, okay, cool. So, I put in my 2-week notice at my other job. 2 weeks passed, boom, I started on the job first day. Okay, so, we do, like I say, we're local. I'm in the state of Louisiana. So, pretty much the company I work from covers everything from, we're in Monroe, Louisiana, but we cover everything. And Monroe, Louisiana is in northeast Louisiana. So, we cover basically the whole northeast Louisiana area, all the way down to maybe like central Louisiana. So we cover everything starting at like Ruston, Louisiana, Bernice, Louisiana, Farmerville, Louisiana, all in that area, all the way down to Vidalia, Louisiana. So I start off my first week, I'm kind of bouncing around, working. I'm starting off as a CDL helper. I started off, it was in the job I was at, we get paid a base pay. You get paid by the day. You're not getting paid hourly. So basically I started off as a helper, $125 a day. And the driver start off at $150 a day. But how this company is, you start off at that $125 a day. And basically, in so many words, you're waiting on somebody to either call in, quit, or get fired for you to drive and run routes. So the driver start at $150 a day. And after you get a raise every year, a $10 raise. But once you get to $180 a day, you max out. That's it. You get no more raises, whether you've been there 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, it stay the same. So I start off making my $125 a day, as a CDL helper, which equivalent to pretty much after taxes, like only like $600 a week, about $500 a week. Okay, so I start off doing that, and I should have caught on to the red flags that a lot of these local touch freight companies, like they don't keep drivers and people are in at the door. They pretty much hire anybody with a CDL, which is a disadvantage to you because you fresh out of school, you not knowing no better, you naive, just eager to drive a truck, so you basically jump to them almost anything. And that's bad business because say you go out there, you really don't even got the full training because you don't really get the real training at truck driving school, depending on what school you went to, what region, and who was your trainer. You pretty much get your experience once you get out there inside the truck. So with them type of companies like that, can't keep drivers hire anybody, bro. They basically like the job I'm at. We got hired, we didn't even do a road test. Like them people didn't know if we could drive a truck, bag it up, or anything. So you could have went out there and towed something up and, messed up your license, lost your job, anything. But luckily, God was on my side. But anyway, though, like I was saying, so I start off to $125 a day. My first week, I'm a helper or whatever. I should have peeped like, it was kind of red flags. I'm literally sitting in the truck as a helper with the driver. We out, we riding 2-3 hours. We doing a couple stoves. Woo, woo, woo. So next thing I know, we get to one stove. I look in the cup holder. I see a blunt of marijuana. I'm looking like, hey, hold on, like, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to make sure nobody trying to set me up or something, like, because I don't smoke weed, but at the same time, like, if there's marijuana in the truck, it ain't nothing to talk about. Like, basically, somebody getting piss tested and somebody's job basically gone. You terminated. So the drive, I looked at him. I'm like, hey, bro, you put this here? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I was making sure, bro, because I know this hadn't been here all day. I've been in the truck with you since 5 this morning. It's 12. I know this wasn't here. He was like, oh, yeah, man, yeah, it's all good. He was like, yeah, man, you ain't gonna say nothing, huh? He was like, man, what happened in the truck, stay in the truck. I'm just starting the job, so I ain't trying to be on no, that type of thing. So I just go with the flow, okay, cool. But in my mind, I'm already like, nah, I don't really want to be involved with that, bro. We get pulled over right now. Shit, we both in something. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I looked over. Then the next day, I go out with another cat. He's smoking marijuana in the truck. So I'm looking like, hold on, like, bro, y'all, it can't be it ain't no cameras in this thing or whatever. Okay, boom. And I'm like, okay, time go on, I'm working, they like, okay, you build nigga reports, you working a bit. All right, so September 23 when I started. Fast forward to January, I run my first route. Okay, basically like, somebody come in, somebody called in, basically, and the supervisor come to me like, you think you ready to drive? I'm like, cool. So basically the route I had from Monroe, Louisiana is a 2-hour drive before you even get to your first store. And sometimes, you might go out with any time, anything between 8 and 16, 17 stops. It just kind of depends on the route and the area and how fast the beer sell and, pretty much. And then we sell other things too. We sell beer, hard liquor, water, energy drinks, all that. So, it's a lot of pretty much a good amount of work. You know how it go usually with the beer companies. They slow around like from when school start back down in Louisiana, school start back in like August. So they start slowing down around about October. It stays slow from October all the way to maybe late February. But like right now, it's March the 8th. Around this time on through the summer, it's busy. It's pretty fast paced. So anyway, like January, I start. I'm running, I run the route, and it's so unprofessional, but I wouldn't even train. Like, they didn't show me nothing. I just learned everything from listening and watching and paying attention, bro. Like, I literally got sent out on a route. I don't even know how to use the iPad for the check in the beer and change out the ticket or even put in the money or check information. I don't know none of it. They just basically like, you got a CDL, go run this route. Just so happened the helper that was with me, he had been there for a few years. So he basically was already hip to all that. He knew how to work the tab. He knew the route. He knew how to do everything. I didn't even know the directions. He knew everything. So basically, I was just driving, but he pretty much was running the route because he didn't have a CDL. I did. So, it's like, okay, cool. So I started kind of getting my feet wet, here and there running routes, when people call in. Basically, like I say, this type of company, they will really hire anybody as long as you got a CDL. They don't even got to know if you could drive or bag the truck up or anything. Because I'm talking about, like, I finished school in September 2020. I finished school in June 2023, started the job in September 2023, and I ran my first ride in January of 2024. So it's like, man, I go out here, bro, and it's so crazy. Like, that's one thing about driving trucks. It's a little different from, like, when you in school training a 53-footer compared to going on a local job driving maybe a 36-footer or a 40-footer, 42, 47, whatever it may be, because that's one thing about a shorter trailer, it get away from you faster. A lot of times with them long 53-footers, they kind of pretty much, you have to just play around with it a little bit, but they pretty much kind of bag themselves. Them shorter trailers a little different because they get away from you faster, so you really got to be paying attention. So I'm out here, man, I'm telling you, bro, it was so crazy, like, because when I finished school, I literally went like from June of 2023 all the way to January 2024, however many months that is. So you get rusty when you're not using your CDL. So I get up in here, man, I'm talking about I could barely even bag this truck in a dock. I'm talking, man, it was so foreign to me, bro. Like I couldn't even straight line a truck into a dock. And I'm talking, I'm out here looking crazy. It literally got to the point to where like one of the dock workers literally had to come out and bag the truck in for me for like my first week driving. My first week driving, somebody had to come put it in the dock for me when we got back to the job. And that's bad business because anything could have went wrong. Thankfully, God was on my side. But anyway, fast forward to, okay, so I'm running routes here and there, but I'm basically still a helper. Fast forward to June of 2024. A guy get fired, whatever happened. Supervisor come to me like, hey, man, they wanted me to check with you, man, see if you ready for a route. Man, a good worker, man. I never missed a day at work. Always on time, never called in, never took PTO or anything. So basically, I had perfect attendance basically my whole first year up. So, I take the route. I'm just trying to see what's, it's a little extra money, like I say. So, like I say, starting off as a CDL helper, I might have been bringing in maybe after taxes, like maybe $550 a week. Once I moved up to a driver, that turns into, after taxes, like $750 a week. So I'm like, cool, let me jump on this. I'm trying to get my experience up anyway. So I jump on it, like, when I was misinformed, the supervisor, he basically came to me like, hey, bro, like, man, hey, man, they want me to see if you want this route, man. I'm going to be out there with you, just running for a few days, man, see if you like it. I'm going to kind of get you trained up. I'm like, okay, cool, I see what's up. Man, I go out there, man, like the helper that was with me, he had his CDL too. But I started before him. He was already on that certain route before me. He was just a helper. But how they do it, it's the next in line. Basically, whoever had been there long is going to take the route. So I'm out here looking crazy. I'm out here running a whole route that I've never been on. Literally, my helper has to show me everything. He has to show me basically the directions, how we get there, where we park it, where we got to bag into if they want us to go in the dock or come through the back door. And he had to literally show me everything. So I'm basically out here like a chicken with my head cut off, and it's the blind leading the blind. You got to think about it. Like I say, I'm 30 years old. At that time, I was 29. And the guy that's with me is like 22, 21, 22. So, we in the same age range. We both was in our 20s. But at the end of the day, I'm in the later 20s, basically knocking on 30. He just getting in his 20s, fresh out of high school. So to me, it's basically kind of like a kid, to be honest. Like, no disrespect or nothing. He basically a kid to me. Because like I said, I got nieces and nephews older than him. Most of my nieces and nephews, like, 4 and 5 years younger than me and stuff like that. So that's why I say, like, it's like a kid to me, basically. So I'm depending on this who I'm depending on for show me the route and show me the directions and where we need to park it and this, that, and how to stove operating things like that. So, I wasn't tripping. I'm like, okay, he signed me off out here, basically, like he gonna be out here with me, didn't even come out there. I'm out here basically blind leading the blind. So, okay, I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna ride with him. I'm gonna get this little bread, just kind of get my experience as I go. Okay, so, we're going on, the summer come through, like, it gets so hectic. Okay, so, like I say, we're not getting paid hourly. So, if you're getting there, I'm just say, for example, so, most of the time, a regular work shift gonna be like 8 hours. And we go to work at 5 in the morning. The truck's are already loaded. All we have to do is basically just, load our equipment on our electric pallet jack, our dollies, our carts or whatever. Get out in the truck, do our pre-trip or whatever and all that. And like the type of route I got real hectic for somebody that's a new driver because I'm literally going out every day. Anybody that been like in touch freight will understand kind of what I'm saying. I'm going out with 1,000 cases with 15, 16 stops. And I got an hour drive before I get to my first stop. So basically in so many words, after about 1 or 2 o'clock, you basically out there for free. Because I do it how I do it. I'm going to say we go to work at 5, but I got an hour drive until I get to my first stop. So I'm going to say 6 to 2. And we don't get lunch breaks and nothing like that because we're not getting paid hourly. So basically, I'm going to say 6 to 2 should be my work shift. So basically for me, anything after 2 o'clock, I'm really working for free. Because we're not getting paid hourly, so we don't get like overtime and sick days and vacation. We literally get PTO. We literally like get maybe 3 hours of PTO every 2 weeks. So basically it would take you down to a year or something like that, maybe just to get a week of PTO. Anyway, I'm running the routes, I'm doing my thing. It was kind of rough at first, it been, like I say, after 2 o'clock, you're not getting paid. So it been time where I'm pulling up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, because, I'm new to the route. The guy that was with me to help, but he was still kind of new. He had only been there maybe 2 months, and this is who I'm with, depending on for my first couple weeks to, show me the route and where we go and where we park. So that's bad business. Anything could have run wrong. Like I steady say, God was on my side. But anyway, I'm running around, I'm doing my thing, this, that, and the third. And fast forward down the line, like I said, I had been at the job since September 2023. I got the route in June 2023. 2024, June 2024. Fast forward to September 2024, I get the raise. I was telling y'all about, like, basically you get a $10 raise every year, but you max out at 180. So a helper start at 125, driver start at 150, and you max out at 180. So that basically means after you're there about 2-3 years, you basically pretty much ain't making no more money no matter how long you stay. And we get a little commission, like we go to work at 5 o'clock and basically you at the clock, be there before by 5:15 for to get the commission. It's some little BS, maybe like for helpers, I think it's like 1 cent a case, and for the drivers, it's like 3 cents a case. So, I'm going on with the rider, I'm doing my thing or whatever, and fast forward to September 2024, I get the $10 raise, so now I make $160 a day. Okay, so everything cool, everything this, that, and third. By that time, I kind of got settled and kind of been on for a minute. So now I'm starting to I've been saw a lot of red flags, but now I'm starting to it's starting to get deeper because I'm starting to really pay more attention. Because now I'm a driver. I'm a helper, I'm pretty much just on the truck helping to drive and no responsibility fall back on me. So I'm pretty much just come work making the check. Once you're a driver, all the responsibilities on you, everything with that, as far as the checks, the money, the products, making sure nothing gets broke, nothing's missing. It all fall back on you or whatever. So pretty much it's real unprofessional once I really got to paying attention, because I'm like, man, we literally going up in here oversending what the store really need. Like we literally sending in way more than what they need. And this job is so it's messed up to the point to where okay, say if the salesman make an order, he sent out some beer. You deliver the beer. It's sitting there for a month. Some of it don't sell. You coming in actually picking it back up and taking it back to the warehouse. And if you miss the pickup, it comes out your paycheck. And it's so crazy to the point to where the salesman will literally come in, make the order, grab the beer that's out of date or closed date or, it's not selling. Instead of him basically just putting it in the van, taking it back to the warehouse, he will literally grab the beer, set it to the side in the hallway for you to come pick up maybe the next couple of days. It had been so crazy. I literally had on one of my routes, the salesman literally was in the dollar store, kind of rotating and messing around with the energy drinks. He literally rotating the energy drinks or whatever. And, kind of making sure everything is the dates and everything, kind of this and that. So he literally was in there. And I noticed because the woman at the dollar store told me about that once I came in and made my delivery. The salesman literally had a can of an energy drink, put it up on the shelf. I guess he got caught in something. The can bust. It shot all in his face. And instead of him literally throwing it in the trash or literally taking it back to the job itself, this man literally sat it on the counter, sat it on the little shelf to the side. The woman said, "You ain't gonna take that back with you." The man literally told her, oh no, you know, I don't got to do it. I'm just going to let the boys come pick it up tomorrow. So literally, this man literally is so disrespectful to the point this man literally busted a can himself, sat it to the side for me to come pick up the next day. And if I don't pick up that can, it comes out my check. That's how crazy it is. Okay, like I say, basically, like with some of these local, you know, I ain't gonna talk y'all heads off, but like I say, with some of these local touch-free companies, depending on the area, now I can't speak for other states because I live in Monroe, Louisiana. Like I say, I can't speak for everywhere else, but as far as down here, what I know, it's a lot of BS. Cause man, a lot of these local touch-free companies, like they don't really care, bro. The pay is decent for me because I'm somebody that's, you know, single, no kids. I'm basically responsible for taking care of myself. So, you know, it's decent for somebody like me to survive on, but somebody with a woman at home and 4 or 5 kids, that ain't gonna get it. Pretty much, you know, fast forward, you know, okay, I'm seeing a lot of the red flags are starting to come out more. And I got to learn, like a lot of these local touch-free jobs, but they really don't care. All they care about is making their money. They don't care about you, nothing else. All they care about is making their money. It have been times where I done literally, they so short-staffed, I done literally had to go out for almost 2 weeks at a time by myself, you know, with no helper. And, you know, it's so messed up to the point to where, like, okay, if you go out by yourself, they only give you an extra $40 per day. And I'm looking at it like, you know, it's kind of screwing us over. I get my check, you know, I go out the whole 2 weeks by myself or whatever. And I'm thinking like, okay, all right, cool, man. You know, your check gonna be nice. I'm like, okay, cool. Run this bag up, whatever, woo, woo. So I was like, you know, the first time I went out by myself, I'll say a week straight. So that's $40 a day, and you're working Monday through Friday. There'll be an extra $200 on my check. That's what I'm assuming. Okay, so, you know, I get paid that next week or whatever. Look at my check stub or whatever. They send it through the email. We direct deposit. They send the check stub through the email. I check my email, get the check stub. I'm looking at it. So, like I say, we don't get paid by the hour. So I'm looking at how much they screw over these new drivers when you fresh out of school, need the experience and don't know no better. So I mess around, you know, look at my check stub, whatever. The check was a little more than what I was expecting. So I'm expecting, okay, yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice. And like, you know, I look at my thing, I'm like, after I went out a whole week by myself, basically just to see an extra $75, $80 on my check. And it's so schemed out when I do look at the check stub, it's showing like, you know, okay, as a solo driver without a helper, you're supposed to be getting paid $40 per hour. But since they don't pay by the hours, they turn it on to $40 a day. So I'm looking at like, man, it ain't even worth it, bro. I need help every day. I ain't be playing with these people, be out here all day for nothing. So anyway, man, you know, I'm just like, man, they don't really care, bro. Like, they basically like just throw you out there, bro. Like all they care about is their money and selling their product. It's so bad and unprofessional, but we literally up in trucks with the linemen off, headlights out, a trailer light out. I'm talking about, man, you down there hit a bump. That's probably, I done been in some of these trucks, man. I done literally hit a pothole. It might have been 2 feet deep. I done hit the pothole, man. Literally the whole truck done bounced off the ground. I done literally bounced all the way up and literally hit my head on the ceiling from hitting a pothole that's only a foot deep, 2 feet deep. You riding around out here going around hills and, you know, curves and all that, bro, with one headlight working like literally at 5 in the morning while it's still dark outside. You literally going out here with alignment so bad to the point, the car, man, right now, you see how my steering wheel is. I'm literally like in a big ass 40-footer with literally like the alignment so bad to the point to where I'm holding the truck is going straight, but my steering wheel is all the way to the right. So basically, I'm down there veering. I got to literally be steady because I'm veering, you know, and that's dangerous. Like, you know, these people, like, they do not care. They literally had us out there and down almost ice on all over the ground. Like, you literally, it's not even safe to drive. Like, they don't care about nothing. If it get too bad, you basically just off for that day, and they going to have you come in on the weekend and make up that day. That's to the point they don't care about nothing but their money. I'm talking about it's so unprofessional to the point, like, and load your truck up any kind of way. For example, I might have had 15 stops that day. The guy before, he looked at it like, oh, well, shit, I don't really care. They ain't paying me nothing anyway. Load the truck up any kind of way. I got 15 stops. He literally half my 7 stop as the first truck on the stove, and I'm not even in this town starting off, so I got to rearrange my whole truck, and that's time consuming. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of these companies just don't really even care. Like, I done literally seen dudes come in fresh out of school, can't even bag in the dock. They still sending you out here running the route. And the one thing about it, a lot of times local driving, in my opinion, I've never been over the road, so I can't speak for it, but in my opinion, local driving is more difficult than over the road. Because a lot of times over the roads, you docking and, you going in these spots too, but a lot of times with over the road, you pretty much just driving down the highway interstate, just straight driving and switching lanes, driving straight. You probably got to do a lot of docking. But with local driving, city driving, bro, you really got to be on point because your driving and your bagging really got to be superb. Because you basically in and out of traffic all day, so you got to know how to make your turns correctly, bag up, everything. So basically, they sending guys out here, man, can't even bag into a dock, but you sending this dude literally an hour away from the city, going out here running the route. Anything can go wrong. So basically, it's like to the point they don't care so bad. It's literally to the point I write it up in my pre-trip and my post-trip every day what's going on. I literally went to the supervisor like, hey, man, I'm just trying to alert you, man. I got a headlight out on my right, my passenger side headlight out on my truck, and the passenger side light out on the back of that trailer. It's like he don't even care. He literally like, oh, yeah, okay, I got you, bro. I'll let him know. Man, you look up a month later, bro, I'm still in the same truck with lights out on that motherfucker, like, on this mud. Excuse my language. They pretty much don't even care, bro. It's pretty much as long as they make their money. And like I say at the beginning, I don't try to use certain words to get, like, flagged and nothing, but, like, man, pretty, like, prejudice or whatever, like, pretty much don't care, like, man, as long as we make our money, you fools, y'all fresh out of school, you need the experience. I don't care about you. If something go wrong, you have an accident or something go left, we just get you out the way and just bring in some other fool fresh out of school, eager to get some driving experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm still there now, currently today. So I've been there now basically like a year and a half, but I'm finna get ready. I basically just kind of got the experience I needed and got good as far as maneuvering these trucks. And I'm pretty much, my goals is, make my own move as far as move on to something else and eventually invest in my own little truck or maybe a box truck or something like that or whatever. And because I like right now, it's so real, the pay is so BS that I literally get up at 5 in the morning, go to work, drive trucks, get off maybe, anytime. It depends on my load. I can get off anywhere between 11 in the morning or 4 in the evening. And like I say, we get paid by the day, so you're not getting paid hourly, so it don't matter if I get off at 11 in the morning or 4 in the evening. My check is basically still the same. So anyway, like I said, I'm looking into, moving on, doing something else. I just use that to kind of get my experience up because in my situation, I didn't look at making truck driving a career and trying to do it for years and retire from it. Or it was just something to do because at the time I was working on dead-end jobs and I was approaching 30, living at home and things like that. And I was like, man, I just woke up one day like, man, I got to do something different. So I was like, let me get my CDL, see where it take me. And, I like it, but, it ain't nothing I'll make a career out of it, some good money in it. You could do a lot with it because that's one thing, like drivers in high demand. A lot of these companies, don't keep drivers, so they always desperate for drivers. And, like, it ain't as much good money as it was probably back in the days before our generation, in the truck driving. It got watered down a lot because, like I say, a lot of these schools don't really care. They just basically fast-tracking dudes through school and you going out here literally going on a job, man, you can't even straight line into a dock. Like, you literally can't even straight line this truck into a dock. They just fast tracking these guys. That's why the accident rate is so high nowadays, because they got guys basically don't even know how to maneuver this truck, man. Don't even know how to properly do a pre-trip and a post-trip. You go out here somewhere and go up under an underpass somewhere that you can't even clear and then tow something up because you don't even know nobody. You literally out here in the dock for 10 minutes trying to bag into this dock because you basically don't even know what you're doing. They just fast tracking dudes through school, making their money off how many people they, graduate. And that's why I said, like, don't get me wrong now. I appreciate the company for giving me the opportunity because in most areas, a lot of local jobs going to expect you to have at least a year or two experience. So it wasn't all bad. I make okay money to survive on in my situation. So I see it like, it was a lot of pros and cons. I'm thankful they gave me the opportunity to give me some experience or whatever, but it's a lot of BS. I'm trying to pursue other things now or whatever. And like, I ain't gonna I'll get more in detail on other videos, but I ain't gonna talk y'all ears off, man. I'm, just giving my opinion on, the local touch freight in my area, man, And like I say, man, y'all will be seeing a lot more of me, like, subscribe, comment, or whatever, man, and shit, we're gonna rock out. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get up with y'all. Love.